Welcome to this session as part of our faculty onboarding here at Trinity Graduate School. I'm Noel Sanderson. In this session, we're going to really just consider a few thoughts regarding drafts, and we do allow students to submit up to 2 drafts for each written work that they submit using the project submission form. That is work that is to be graded, but they are allowed 2 drafts, which of course we don't grade. Now, working with drafts does require a little bit of a process, which I will explain on the next few slides. First, it is recommended that you create a folder on your computer where you can save draft assignments and work with them at your convenience, bearing in mind that one needs to secure those so that they are not open to the public in any form. Number 2, drafts and finals for grading both are uploaded by the students to the course assignment page under submissions. That's the big central part of the page that opens up when a student goes to their course, selects assignment, and then selects the specific assignment. That then opens up. Now, there's a place there, kind of like a drop box, into which they can drag or copy and paste their work. At the top of that, it says submissions. If a student loads their work on the right-hand side of the page under comments, it does not register in the learning management system as a submission while it is there. So if a student does that, please ask them to upload it under submissions. Please don't accept emailed attachments, because anything that's done outside of the learning management system, we do not have a record of that. So if we have to go back, solve a problem, do an audit, that correspondence, if they submitted work to you as email attachments, is outside our scope. We can't access your email to verify a student's claim. So we have a learner management system. Please work as a faculty in the system, as well as insist the students use the system. Finally, if a student has not saved the document, their assignment, as per our requirements, as set out on the project submission form, or sends a PDF, Pages, or Google Docs, or any other word processing document, please insist they upload a Word document. Now, there are 2 things here. The one is that they need to save their work, their actual assignment and the project submission form, as one document, and save that document following the example on part 1 of the project submission form. That is, their last name, their initial, the course code, the assignment identifier. We still have students sending us in work that just says research paper, book critique, no name, no course, no identifiers. If a student doesn't follow that basic protocol, do not accept it. Send a comment back on the Populi page to say you haven't followed the directions on the project submission form. Please resubmit following the example. We highlighted in yellow on that form. So there's a little bit of training of some students that's required here, and generally they get it after a few false starts. Let's move to the next slide. So the draft process here, I'm going to have these 5 pointers for you. Number 1, to download and save the assignment to your computer. And number 2, to open the document and respond as appropriate. Now, we are not English professors per se, so we are not expecting you to correct the grammar or the English. And numerous of our students are writing in their second or third language when they're writing in English. Use your discretion as to how much English you're prepared to accept, in terms of it's not really functional, it's not at college level. Nevertheless, we are a United States college, and we do expect students to lift their level of English, even if English is their first language. And we can offer basic feedback on grammar, or point them to something like Grammarly if we think that that would be helpful. Or we encourage some to actually get a person who has really good English, by that I mean college level English, to check their work for them, be a proofreader. Number 3, engage with the student. We do that by inserting comments on the side. You have to insert comment on the side. That can be a running commentary. It could also just be opening a dialogue with a student. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Also, frequently what we have there is challenging the student to say, where's the source for this? How do you know this? This requires a reference in your footnotes. pointing out the student has not actually supported their work academically from literature, and also add comments in the draft boxes at the top of the project submission form. There are 2 text boxes there, one for each draft, and you can then insert your comments there, just broad comments. But use the project submission form to provide that feedback. Those comments need to remain permanent there, so from one draft to the next, so that we have a record of that. At the side comments, students can delete for the final submission. Number 3, obviously save the work and then return the draft to the course assignment page on the right hand side of the page under comments. You upload it there, and you also at a later time when you do the final you will add the grade, but obviously there's no grade for drafts. So on the right hand side of the page under comments, you post the returned draft, and you can also make any comments. The student can post comments there, and you can open a conversation. Finally, remember our goal is to return drafts as soon as possible. A goal is certainly 48 hours or 2 working days, if we take Monday to Friday as working days. Students frequently ask how long before a paper is due should they put in a draft. We encourage them, if the paper is due on a Monday, normally always 11:59 p.m., get your last draft in by at the latest the Wednesday, so the professor can get to it by Thursday, Friday, and you have the weekend and Monday to make edits. If the assignment is due on a Friday, which is generally the last day of a course, then we ask them to, or recommend they get their draft in by the Monday before, or at least the Friday before. But it's on the student to work backwards and allocate time. The point is we want students to be able to reasonably rely on the fact that a draft will come back to them within 48 hours. If you as a faculty member find that your workload or your circumstances are such that that's not really going to happen, especially the larger classes that are sometimes 30 people or more, there's just that much more turnaround. So you can guide your student as you think best.